What up, Mad Maxers? Episode 4 of the Mega TRX Mad Max Ram build. So here we have the control arm. It's 99% complete just about. We just got to clean it up. We're going to shoot a clear on there. But here's the mounting point that we're going to weld up into the truck. Got to mock that up, see where she's going to sit. But this is how she's going to sit on the new, the control arm going to sit on the axle. Sorry. So that sucker is just beef. I'm gonna pick it up so you get an idea how heavy it is. Oh boy. So yeah, she's got some weight to it. I'm guessing it's about 120, 125 pounds at this point. But she's gonna be straight beef. So next part we're gonna do the drop shaft spacer and mount up the mock up the body mount for the control arm, and then it should be going up underneath the truck here shortly. So what Steve's working on now, that is the drive shaft spacer he built today, because apparently no one builds a drive shaft spacer for this truck. There was one company, Synergy, was building them, and it looks like they're out of business or what, I don't know. I found only one in the country, and it was only 1.25 inches wide, and we needed 2.5 inches wide. So this is our version of it in steel 3/8 plate. Crazy beefy.
Say 25 inches.
So I need to be at least 25 inches to get past the intercooler there.
And we are not.
Moment of truth.
No, we're at 23 and something.
So we gotta go up just a little bit.
On 23 almost. We gotta go up at least 2 inches. A little bit like that.
Trying to get it tall enough so that intercooler is 25 inches to clear the axle from rolling underneath it. Moment of truth, still need a couple inches.
Yeah, that one does. But this side has to go up.
Slow and steady. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't do this stupid.
Out of the block.
Now it's time to roll this big boy underneath there. Ready, spaghetti? Oh, if we had to diff towards me a little bit. Oh, there she goes. Oh, yeah. Act like we've done this before.
I think it's got to go your way. All right, look.
Ah, she's gonna be a big girl. She is gonna be huge.
She's gonna be a force to reckon with. That's no Corvette to catch hell keeping up with this girl. Overall. Pump it a little bit. All right, pump it.
Track bar's hooked up, and then I'll figure out ride height with the suspension buckets right there, and then after that we'll hook up the drive shaft, and then we'll figure out the control arms, how we exactly we're going to do the brackets on it, so we have it nice and parallel to the floor. I think we did something right, because she's now centered in the wheel well. Before she was pushed back. So not a whole bunch of, not too much cutting now. Because originally we were going to have to cut the door. That's why we pushed the axle forward. But I mean, now we just chopping all this up and flush it back. And it's going to have full clearance on articulation and everything. Here is the part of the steering shaft, the U-joint part that goes to the gearbox on the steering. And the steering shaft goes into here, gets bolted down. So we were trying to think of many different ways, trying to extend this 2.5 inches to make up for where we put the gearbox forward. And we were overcomplicating things, so all we did was chop. Took a grade 8 bolt, 3/4 inch, insert it like so. There's your 2.5 inches. Size does in fact matter. So this is the steering shaft that we extended. As you can see, it looks like factory. But if you go and peek inside here, you can barely see it, but that's that grade 8 bolt. 3/4 inch grade 8 bolt put in there. But you see, like, it never happened. And that's actually gonna be the strongest point, is where that grade 8 bolt is on the whole steering shaft. All right, so we put the little pocket for the coil in. And he beefed it in there real nice. You see this right here and on the other side too. So it's not going anywhere. Nice dime stack weld. That's the new coil from Ready Lift. I believe, what is that, their 2.5 or 3 inch lift kit. And then we dropped the pocket down a couple inches. So it'll bring the whole truck probably 5 inches of lift, maybe 4.5 inches. And then there's the new beefy control arm there. You see that thing's massive, just straight beef. And ignore the stacking the spaces. That's just so we have that. The wheels, the 17s, we use them to mock them up, and we have the 20x14s coming any day now from Venom Wheel with the actual 4320s on them. But yeah, she's looking pretty good. We got a new track bar on the way as well, and the that stabilizer shock. We got a bracket to move it over.
Cut the old one out and stick that one in there. And
So this is going to replace the bracket to hold the radius arms from the body to the axle. So basically what we do, oh yeah, that's the other side. So what we did was you pulled it forward and then dropped it a good bit.
yeah, 5 inches, but so the truck running this way, that'll sit there, and then this one, the one that you got from that.
Oh, so that one's actually going to, okay, so this is a 3/8 aftermarket one I got. And basically this is just going to be a drop bracket, and that new bracket he's going to weld that sucker in like that. So it's going to be beefy. That's going to go right into here. It's going to make up for that room we moved it forward. You see that 2.5 inches we moved it forward? That's going to bring it down and over to accompany for that distance right there, for that big old beefy control arm. As you can see, she is in fact thick. Alright, so here's the finished-ish product. Here's our new little pocket for the coil. You see we added this from the Ready Lift. We went ahead and just welded the seam on it. So it's like, it stabilizes the coil. And then this is all custom made here. We took the factory one off, cut it off the frame. This is moved forward and way, as you can see, way beefier with those pretty welds. So now the coils are ready to go back in, and then hook up the drag link to the steering. The new track bar is up in there. That's looking good. And he threw some flat black paint on it. Right now she's having a weight loss surgery. If you know, you know. We got a new tune with a new ECU. And there's those massive control arms. And he went ahead and finished the, you can see there, those are, you can see where the frame originally is. We cut off the factory bracket for the control arm, and then all of that is all 1/2 inch steel, hooking up, pulling it forward 2.5 inches and bringing it down 5 inches for the amount of lift we put on there. And that's so we can still align it straight. This build is coming together really, really nice. So after this, we're gonna put the suspension in, and then we skip back to tubing. This was the most intricate part of everything, is doing all this stuff here. This is what was so time consuming, and that's why I didn't see a lot. It didn't look like a lot was getting done, but there was a lot getting done. It was a lot of trial and error, fabricating like this bracket, and then the bracket for the steering, and figuring out all the geometry. And then this as well. Like, just see that, this is small things, like that little roll in the middle. It's just perfection. And this, everything is way beefier than the stock stuff. Like this control arm here, this sucker is a 1/2 inch thick. It is way stronger than anything on this truck, honestly. And then we have Venom Wheel. We sent them a measurement so they can make us a spacer for the drive shaft, because apparently not many companies want to mess with the stock drive shaft just because how it hooks up to the transfer case. So this was our attempt at a spacer, but it looks great, but I'm afraid it's not going to be balanced. So we went ahead and we sent it off to be CNC'd and do it the right way. And it's going to come with the new wheels. As you see, this is the old joint off the stock control arm. And then we used pieces of the stock control arm to make this big beefy one here. And then, so yeah, we're going to drop the coils in and set her down on the new tires. Actually, I'm going to show you these. So these right here are going to be our daily drivers. This is a 40-inch Maxxis tire. We're going to use this just for dailies on a regular dually setup. And then we're going to have the super singles on 46-inch Mickey Thompson tires to run around and have fun in. But yeah, so we're just waiting for the outside tire, the outside wheel and tire to come in. And then we're going to start chopping on the bed is going to be the next part. And then here's the remaining pieces for the Ready Lift. So this is a 5-inch block from Ready Lift that just goes and bolts right in here with new it's dark, you can't really see. It bolts in with new U-bolts and top of the leaf springs there, brings the back end up. So this will be the actual sitting height of this truck, which you can see is like crazy tall. It's probably about 8.5 feet tall in the air right now, but that'll be the actual ride height of it. No, wait, it's probably going to be 3 inches taller than that because of the 46s now. The last second we changed, we went from 43s, now we're doing 46s because the 43s, they look small now. The 43s look too small for this truck. So now it's 46s, and we probably don't hardly have to trim anything on this truck to run 46s, and then probably next year it'll be 49s. And who knows, end up doing 54s. Why not? Well, guys, it's time to crank it for the first time since we took it apart and did a little weight loss. We haven't cranked this truck in a couple months now, 3 months now. We're about to cold start it and see if what we did was correct. Cut that fan on. It's freaking smoky in here now. But yeah, our little surgery went well. Little surgery went well. Now we just got to build the exhaust coming off of that. Put that knock sensor back in. Watch, you got a little smoke still coming off of that turbo. Look at that. But yeah, I'm excited. Right now we're taking off the spacers, all the spacers, all 6 pieces, and we're gonna put the factory dually adapter back on because we're done mocking up with these bad boys. We're gonna put these back on there and torque them to spec. Now we got the actual suspension under there from Ready Lift. The new coil setup and the new Falcon shocks, which those look freaking sweet. And then we have it sitting on the new control arms there.
long, or use that long extension.
Yeah, I was thinking about that after I hit the first couple. I was like, yeah, we're gonna probably have to take this off even with the other wheels coming in.
But you're getting a good look at it though.
Now these are 40-inch tires that these are gonna be our dailies. And then the 46s is when we wanna go make some crazy content and have fun. So we're gonna put the 5.5-inch lift in the back and then drop it on the 40s. And then we'll start trimming on the bed and finish up doing all the tubing on the front and the sides and all that good stuff. And I think we're about to just do 40-inch tires from the get-go as the final tire. And I was talking to my Mickey rep, and I was like, hey, let's just go a little crazy. We'll go 43s, we'll make it work. And then I just talked to him again, hey, let's go ahead and do 46s, we'll make them work. And a couple months from now, we'll do 49s and make them work, and then onward and upward.